Announced in 2020, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk was revealed to the world as a seemingly spiritual successor to the cult classic Jet Set Radio series. But does it live up to the hype and everyone's high expectations? Of course it does. It's Team Reptile after all. As mentioned earlier, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is technically a spiritual successor to the phenomenal Jet Set Radio series. Jet Set Radio Future was incredibly influential for a generation of gamers. From its incredible soundtrack, vibrant colours and style, and fast-paced stylish traversal using roller skates, Cyberfunk had a lot to live up to. And I'm incredibly happy to say that in my eyes, it's a resounding success and a love letter to the games that inspired it. From the moment I started playing and manoeuvring around the world, I had a massive grin on my face from how perfectly stylized the art style and models were, and I was just blown away by how smooth the traversal is in this game. Set in the city of New Amsterdam, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is a game about finding out how and why the main character Red lost their head. Alongside this, you and your crew have the ambition of becoming All City, to take over all the boroughs of New Amsterdam by spraying over rival gangs' graffiti, beating them in competitions, and then for the final action of each area, beating the rival gang in a trick-off. There are 6 acts and 6 major areas, each one being represented by a different gang, with reoccurrent side characters in between. And if I'm honest, I feel like the story of this game was the weakest part. Not to say that it was bad, but it felt rather convoluted around the middle and near the end, crossed between the story of what your characters are doing and then learning about what happened in the past. On the other hand though, the story segments lead you to some Super Mario Sunshine styled mind levels, and these are fantastic spectacles. Whilst not hard in a gameplay sense, they look amazing and feel great to play. But in my opinion, the game's story is only a vehicle to get you from one gameplay segment to another. And let me tell you, the core gameplay in this is absolutely phenomenal. I love games with great movement, where some of the core fun comes from just traversing the world. And whilst I expected Cyberfunk to feel good to move, I did not expect just how fun navigating from A to B is in this game. You have a choice of 4 movement options: BMXing, inline skating, skateboarding, and free running. You can only choose one vehicle at a time to use, but at any point can hop off that vehicle to make more delicate jumps or maneuvers on foot. All vehicles handle pretty similar, with their main variation being what types of tricks you'll be doing on them. And aside from a mechanic we'll get into later, vehicle preference is basically personal choice. For me, I really like how the skateboard feels. I'll happily use both the others, but something about the skateboard's animations are just incredibly smooth for me. You'll be doing plenty of grinding along walls, wall running across billboards, and tricking on rail, in air, and basically anywhere that you can think of. Doing tricks, grinds, and wall riding were all in Jet Set Radio, but one huge change to the gameplay is the addition of a sliding mechanic, and a rework of how boosting works. In Cyberfunk, to boost you must either collect canisters to fill a meter, or combo tricks together to generate increasingly higher amounts of boost. The bigger your combo, the more boost you gain per trick. But if you have to hop off a rail, then in Jet Set Radio, you'd lose your combo. But in Cyberfunk, you can slide. If you're on foot or inline skates, it's a slide. If you're on BMX, it's a wheelie. And on skateboard, it's a manual. This feature allows you to chain combos across massive distances, hopping off of one set of rails, sliding along tactically, tricking to gain boost, to then jump onto another rail to keep the combo going. The ability to constantly trick and keep your points going up is addictive. I found myself taking longer to get to objectives because I just wanted the score number to go up higher, and to keep having fun with the amazing movement. While sliding, you have a balance meter. Once it's depleted, the slide automatically stops. This meter can be extended by going downhill to regain momentum, or by doing a trick and using your boost pack at the same time. This makes you do a boost trick that gives you a load of bonus points, huge momentum, and resets the slide balance meter all at the same time. At every point, you have the opportunity to be stylish and gain loads of points. But I mentioned the boost pack just then, and this is another amazing improvement the game has made. The boost pack acts as a double jump, with the second jump having lots of input direction based momentum. This makes it incredibly easy to do a 180 on a rail or adjust your trajectory after a miscalculated jump, and provides the ability to cross some massive distances. The boost pack, as its name also suggests, allows you to boost. This was a feature in Jet Set Radio. In that game, it cost collectible spray cans to fill. In Cyberfunk, as mentioned, you gain boosts by doing lots of combos, and occasionally collecting boost canisters. I really hope the gameplay in the background can convey some of the smoothness of movement, but I really think only playing the game for yourself will allow you to feel just how good it is to move across any kind of surface in this game. But the game isn't all just about doing sick tricks to style on your opponents. You've also got to spray your gang gangs tags all over the city. This is done via a small minigame, where you join a line together from multiple points to form a shape. Each piece of graffiti you can do has a unique input shape, and you'll know where to put the line next by seeing if the icons around the outside have yellow in them. Spraying graffiti not only looks cool, but also feels great. Even after 100% completing this game, I'll still go and re-spray over graffiti if I need a boost, because doing graffiti also generates combo points and gives a substantial amount of boost meter. Spraying graffiti will also attract the attention of the law, who has a 6-star wanted system. At first, it's just regular officers, then chain launchers to slow or pull you in, then riot shields and snipers, ending with helicopters, and something pretty intense for level 6 that I won't spoil. Whilst in concept, I like this mechanic, and I found it serviceable during the course of the story. When I was doing 100% completion after the main story, I just found it annoying. In order to lose your stars, you must enter a toilet, with at least one being located in each map. The toilets also allow you to change your outfit color, but they're mostly used for removing the wanted level. With the wanted level not going down over time of avoiding police, your momentum can be hindered by having to backtrack to a toilet on the other side of the map, all in order to reduce your wanted level, to then have to go back to trying to make a tricky set of jumps without being shot at by the police. But one big change Cyberpunk has over its influence is an actual combat system. On foot, the 3 tricks you can do all cause damage to police. You can spray them with graffiti to stun them for a short while, and you can at certain moments in moves, spray the officers with a full tag to instantly kill them and give yourself some boost. The combat looks great and feels pretty good. I was very surprised and pretty bad at the combat at first, but after a small learning experience, I actually really enjoyed the encounters where you have to brawl your way out of a sticky situation. Although the boss fights range from decent to pretty annoying. Except for the final boss, that one was pretty cool, even if it was kinda easy. Alongside graffiti to spray, you have a variety of collectibles to find around the map, like outfit recolors, new colors and textures of bikes and inline skates, as well as collectible songs that allow you to play music from the radio at any point. Which leads us onto the soundtrack. Jet Set Radio Future has an incredible soundtrack. It's been hugely influential to mine and many other people's music taste. The songs are so good that I still regularly listen to the soundtrack. So this was another big pair of shoes to fill, and luckily, Cyberpunk's music is pretty damn good. I'd say 70% of the soundtrack is bangers, with only 2 or 3 songs that I will immediately skip to another song if it comes on. As well, Team Reptile obviously had to get the man, the myth, the legend himself, the father of funky fresh beats and Family Guy funny moments, Hideki Naganuma, the man responsible for almost all of Jet Set Radio Future's non-licensed songs. The dude still got it.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No.
Although, as someone pointed out on Twitter, his habit for sampling Black Panther speeches is becoming an interesting development, with Jet Set Radio's Concept of Love and Cyberpunk's The People both sampling Stokely Carmichael's Free Huey speech in 1970. I'm also incredibly happy to see that they got a single from 2Mello, who is a fantastic musical artist and created 2 wonderful Jet Set Radio inspired albums. I highly recommend anyone that likes Jet Set Radio influence to listen to The Sounds of Tokyo To. I do wish they'd managed to get some of his other songs, but I do completely understand, due to the developers wanting the game to stand on its own 2 feet and not just be completely in Jet Set Radio's shadow. The world design in this game is great. Aesthetically, it is a perfect evolution of the same Jet Set Radio style. Environments are varied. Multi-layered malls, broad streets filled with rails, high-rise tower sections with big drops. Each area feels unique and has its own set of quirks and navigational challenges along the way. The animations are fantastic. Tricks, dashes and sliding look great. Seeing gang NPCs do their dances, characters popping off during cutscenes and cinematics, it all brings me so much joy. Seeing the passion for urban culture passed on from Jet Set Radio to Cyberpunk is wonderful. I've highly praised this game so far, and I have way more praises than criticisms, but I do still have some complaints. One major one everyone will experience is the lack of explanation of certain core or very useful mechanics. For example, there are things that look like carpets that means you could slide on foot indefinitely for as long as you're on them. The game doesn't tell you this. Or that each of the 3 vehicle movement options has their own specific mechanic that allows you to get to specific areas with that vehicle. The bike lets you across bike pressure pad doors. The skateboard lets you spin on these red things, and incline skating means if you slide on top of glass, you'll break it. You need to do these things for 100% completion in areas, which just makes the fact that the game doesn't tell you even more annoying. Some objectives aren't super clear, although that could be attributed to me just being stupid, and performance seems to slightly degrade over time, although again that could be attributed to a specific issue with my PC rather than the release as a whole. In terms of playtime, I beat the game in 11 hours, although I did play through with a mostly completionist playstyle. I spent a good amount of time during each level trying to get as much done as possible, rather than just doing the story first and then coming back for the rest. Honestly, I tried to keep my expectations relatively fair for the game. I was incredibly excited for it, but I also understood that I had some heavy shoes to fill. And since it's been 21 years since Jet Set Radio Future, people's ravenous desire for more of the series has only been increasing. And with Sega's reluctance to touch the IP, people have been desperate. But for me, it's met my expectations and then some. This game was brilliant, and I'm very glad to see the overall community consensus is the same too. Whilst I'm very biased, because I already love Jet Set Radio and the style of the game, I can confidently say, if you liked Jet Set Radio, or even Tony Hawk style games, you'll probably have a blast playing Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. As always, I'm looking forward to whatever Team Reptile does next, and whilst personally I want more Cyberfunk injected straight into my eyeballs, I hope they do whatever they want to, because so far, it's been banger after banger. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe if you feel like it, but remember the concept of love.